Good YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that basketball analysis on analysisplayground.com and on YouTube. We're going to talk about what to expect and who to expect to be the top coaches in the NBA and be in that conversation to be able to win Coach of the Year. Now, we do know that a coach like Mark Dagnall will be in this conversation because the Thunder, if healthy, is going to be one of the best teams in the league, and their growth and their improvement is what we're going to be possibly seeing. And the record might be a massive improvement like they did last year. 5 to 10 games is a lot of games because it means that you can still be the best team in one of the toughest conference, which is the West. And I feel like Mark understands what his team needs and what they're trying to do and how they can accomplish their goal and how to win games. And when you have one of the best scorers slash finishers in a game, which is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and you have an anchor like Chet Fitch Holmgren, and then you have on top of that you have good perimeter defenders like Alex Caruso and Luguentz Dort. You have enough to be a serious team in the NBA, and you have to respect the fact that they built it organically, and they took their time and been patient to get themselves back into this conversation to where they can possibly have the best record in the entire NBA, depending on how things go. So we have to put a repeat possibility of Mark Daigneault possibly winning this award again. But usually they get voter fatigue, or is another guy that gets the best out of his roster and the best out of his team and really makes a name for himself. And I think Jamal Mosley would be one of those guys that you can put in that conversation for the Orlando Magic, just because there was one of the best defensive teams. They're just as young, possibly, as the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have guys that still developing and growing too, but they already took a step up from not being a playoff team to being a playoff team. Now they want to show that they're true contenders in the Eastern Conference, and that would be something that would surprise us if the record was that much better. The defense still was great, and they actually win against better teams more consistently. And he knows what he's doing. They knew that this was the guy for this team, and we've seen a significant improvement of the rotations and how things was going out there looked at very positive, and you don't really hear negative things out of that camp or out of that team, and you don't see people wanting to leave or frustrated with their role. He seemed like he's been doing a great job too of managing egos and putting guys in places where they can succeed. And that's what a coach is supposed to do and make some of them others look better. And I feel like he's been able to get that done real well on and off the court as a coach. And I feel like he has to get a little bit more credit for what he has done for a team like the Orlando Magic so early. And then Chris Finch is obviously one of the better coaches, and he's going to have a new dilemma, a new situation in Minnesota, and we're going to have to figure out what he's going to do and how he's going to try to put that team back to being a competitor in the Western Conference. And if they can show that they can hold the fort down without Towns, and they can actually, win this battle with who going to trade. Obviously, that trade has been circulating all around the world. I don't even want to mention it by name because it is really, taking a life of his own, showing you that they still have belief as Wolves fan in the NBA that this team can still be a contender, and this team can do a lot in a regular season, and that's what contenders do. And I feel like Chris Finch is really ready to embrace this role and tackle this challenge. Same with his team and the organization. We're going to see if they really won this trade or they made their best move, or will they regret their move. But they have to be in it together, and that's what teammates and teams supposed to be. Same with organizations, and this is going to be year one of a new trial and a new, chance to reprove yourself and show that you're the team that we should be scared of, or we're a team that we should be aware of. And I think that that matters. And I feel the same thing about Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks. How do you attack the West when you came out the West, be some of the toughest teams to be able to get to the conference finals, then eventually get to the NBA finals, then you win one game and that was it. But then you add a sniper and a sharpshooter in Klay Thompson that fixes that help and trap and double team that Kyrie and Luka often face, and he allows you to blow that wide open, and you don't really lose too much because you just added him to the team. Plus, you added a little bit more depth to your roster, so you have to see what Jason Kidd can do with this team and this starting lineup and this bench that has improved significantly over the last 2 years that they had Kyrie and Luka Doncic, and getting to the finals after 1 year not going the way that you wanted it to go or how you wanted it to go. Then this year goes exactly like a higher level than what people thought. Even probably Jason Kidd, even though they're just living in the moment, taking it game by game, they overachieved to some people and was ahead of the timeline of Luka Doncic having a great team. And now they want to continue to build upon that and do something special, possibly in Dallas, like they did with Dirk. You get there, but you don't quit, you don't give up, and you find a way to get back there and have a different result is the goal for the Dallas Mavericks. But you still have to look at it that you still got to go through the 82 game season, which can be practice and preparation for you to be able to play your best basketball when it matters most, which is the playoffs. And Jason Kidd can learn a whole lot from his team and what they are and what they're trying to be and what they're trying to accomplish just by seeing how they go about this season. And fans is going to be watching and lurking to see how much information and how much knowledge they can gain from a team like the Dallas Mavericks and how much they really want it and how much they really want to win. And I feel like they have enough to beat anybody. Now we have to see, can they do it in the regular season? Going to be proof of that if they do. And then you got to look at the young teams too, like Ime Udoka having the Houston Rockets, and he had already helped that team go 500. Can they overachieve and avoid the play-in tournament and be one of the top 6 teams in the Western Conference? And if he does that, I think he'll be in the conversation for Coach of the Year too, because their defense improved, their offense improved. Guys started to play better, so guys started to function better. They got rid of some of those guys that didn't really fit as well, and now they're still trying to build the culture and the identity of how this team is supposed to play and what they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing. And I think that that's something that we still we're going to see a lot from Ime, getting this team consistent, smoothing out some of the wrinkles, smoothing out some of the lineups, smoothing out some of the confidence issues that this team has, getting them to understand more how the game should be played, even if they're trying to go isolation and even if they're trying to use that as a way to open up things for their teammates. I think there's better ways for this team to read the offensive players and how I will read the game and be better offensive players, and also how to understand how to play defense without fouling, staying disciplined, and also paying attention to your coverages, even if that's just reading it, even on offense. I think that that's what this team needs to do. But they're young, so they're growing, they're developing, they're watching film, they're studying the game, they're learning the game at the same time and still trying to win games. And I think they did a really good job last year trying to do both, and ending up 500 shows you that this team can compete with anybody in the league. And I think that's just good to see that they're already above where they should be too. And I feel like you also got to put in the New Orleans Pelicans, because Zion comes back hopefully healthy for majority of the season, which we really want to see if he can do that, which he hasn't really been able to do. And then you add DeJounte Murray, a guy that can play, make, rebound, score, pass the ball, and play great defense on a perimeter. That helps CJ out a little bit. That should keep him healthy. They still got Alvarado, who can really push the tempo and push the speed of the team. And then they also can, use Zion as a wrecking ball that can create his own shot, get his own shot whenever he wants to. And now it's just about managing that and using Willie Green as the guy that knows what they're trying to do, knows what they're trying to accomplish, because he's writing the plays and he's trying to help them execute it while he's on the court and off the court. I think this is just going to really show you, is he really a great coach? Can he really get them over the hump? Can he really be a championship coach? And is this enough for the team to win? Is all going to be on Willie Green's head. And if it works, he looks like a genius. If it doesn't, he just going to look like another coach that couldn't get the job done on a talented roster that he has available for him right now. But I'm not doubting it. I do want to see it, and that's why I put him in the Coach of the Year conversation, because this is really a make or break seasons for the Pelicans. Can we really build a championship team around Zion? How do it look? How does it play? How does it function? How does it work? And can a coach actually coach this guy and get this guy to play defense and stay in great shape? And also look at it as a way to get the best out of him, and that rubs off on his teammates because he plays so well and it makes their job so easy, and they can just play off of him. And I feel like Zion has been one of the best players when healthy, and he has led the team to number one seeds multiple times throughout the season only when he plays. And they need him to be healthy for a playoff appearance too. And that will give you a fair evaluation of how great of a coach, how much of influence Willie Green really has over the Pelicans and what they do as a team on both ends of the court and as an organization. But if I had to pick one person to be coach of the year, it's gonna be Joe Mazzulla. He didn't win it last year, even though the Celtics was the number one team in the NBA. I think that they have a chance to be the number one team in the NBA again. I think they have a chance to be the number one defense if Porzingis can stay healthy for majority of the season. But we still have Al Horford, we still have Luke Cornett to man that paint if we need speed, athleticism, and length. But we also have other guys that can come in and score to make up for that. And I feel like the Celtics, if they continue to win and they continue to do it on both ends of the court and they continue to dominate record wise with a lot of wins, I think Joe Mazzulla eventually becomes coaches of the year just by having the best team in the NBA and playing the best basketball in the NBA and doing it multiple seasons in a row. And you can feel that he deserved it last year, but if he didn't get it last year, if he reproves himself and the Celtics are still hungry, like they say, and they really ready to play, and they also run their preseason games, so I'm happy about that. And I'm liking how they looking on both ends of the court in preseason. Well, I look at it like you got to give a little bit more credit to Joe Mazzulla for keeping these guys ready, keeping these guys ready to go, and keeping these guys in the right mentality and making sure these guys are playing the right brand and style of basketball. And I feel like that's fair, for him to be able to be eligible and able to win this award. And I feel like he should be able to win it because all this stuff is realistic for this season that's coming up and the talent that they have. And if he can get the best talent to play the best basketball, that's his claim for being able to win, you know, Coach of the Year. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell for more analysis. If you're new to the channel, I got videos just like this, NBA tributes, and also NBA breakdowns of the current players and tributes and breakdowns of the older players. Also, conversations just like this, NBA content all year round throughout the whole year, every day basically. So if you love NBA content and you can't get enough of it, this is the channel for you. And if you've been on the channel and you may have missed some videos in the past, this is a channel that you might get lost into the videos that's being uploaded. I understand it. I hear what you guys been saying. I love the fact that y'all been liking and sharing and supporting the channel to the best of your abilities. All I can say is thanks. Continue to watch, continue to support the channel, and I appreciate it. And thanks for watching.